How do you collect all 7, and who should you choose with your 77 thank you celebration wish strips? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at this year's 77 thank you celebration special tickets that will allow you to exchange for one of these 77 characters. Scratch that, more than just one, it's even better. You can get up to 7 different characters from this once you collect up all of the 7 wish strips. So in this video, we're going to go over how to get all 7 and who I think you should choose. So let's go ahead and let's jump on in and talk about how to get them. So first and foremost, if you haven't logged in already, you can obtain up to 2 just by logging in since the 20th. So 2 tickets right there. You'll receive another ticket by login on the 27th. That is next week, Wednesday. You will receive the second login bonus, totaling an up to 3 for just logging in. The next set of gift cards can be obtained through completion of the Black Friday special missions, and it's just 1 in the missions. The last 3 can be obtained by completion of the Porunga Dragon Balls missions, basically collecting up all 7 Porunga Dragon Balls throughout this week, and then making a wish at the end of the week. So, unfortunately, you won't be able to collect these up right away. Now, I do know there is some confusion, right? On day 2 of the Porunga Dragon Balls campaign, you have to collect up you have to use one of your wish strips, and I know some people may have used theirs already, and therefore it's not proccing. In that case, wait until the 27th when you receive the second login one, and then use it, and then it'll proc the Porunga Dragon Ball mission for that one. So just make sure you hold on to that one when the 27th comes around. So that's how to collect them. It's rather easy, nothing crazy, nothing special here in order to collect them up. So with that in mind, let's get here what you're really here for. Who is worth it? Well, that's kind of a tough choice because, one, we're dealing with 7 possible choices and 77 different possible characters to choose from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to narrow this down to the best unit of each type. All right, and then I'm going to separate that into 2 further categories, right? The best unit currently to choose of each type, right? Who's going to be the most value right now as of this moment in current content, and who I think would probably be the best choice to pick considering what lies ahead in the future. So 2 possibilities I'm going to go through for each typing here. So let's start with the AGL. For the AGL, honestly, given the list, the best choice is probably the AGL Gotenks, right? He does already have a sub EZA, and he's pretty decent on a full fusion team. He's half decent on a special pose setup with other Gotenks around. He can find some use after all. That is when he did get his sub EZA. So alongside the Int Gotenks and the Tech Gotenks, honestly, he's pretty helpful, pretty good on that setup. Otherwise, he's also really good at supporting the time limit category, ergo fusions. He's probably the best currently on this list here out of all the possible choices. Otherwise, like a close second is probably the AGL Vegeta, maybe. He's got a lot of decent usage as well. Otherwise, if we're thinking future, right, characters that have not gotten an EZA yet, you have the Trunks, the Buu Piccolo, the AGL Krillin. So if you want to future-proof things, I think the 2 most likely candidates for a future EZA are probably these 2. I think we're still a ways away from the GT Golden Week sub-EZAs and EZAs as well. So this guy's probably a ways off. So probably either Buu Piccolo or Krillin will probably be your best choices if you're thinking of possible EZAs. Moving on to the next one, Tech type. Tech type's really hard because honestly, there's not a whole lot that's great here. Currently, your best choice is probably Tech God Goku. That is this Goku right here, the Super Saiyan Goku. who Dokkan Awakens in the Tech God Goku. He's actually pretty still useful in a lot of the 9th anniversary content. He takes a bit of damage, but he's still a half decent, just filler for whatever teams you're running, especially if you're running superheroes / movie heroes, right? I've taken him into stage 2 Cell Max, and while he can take a bit of damage post super, he's still very useful once you get to turn 3, once you have the guaranteed ceiling. So, I mean, if you need a filler unit for one of the teams that he's on, and you're facing movie bosses or pure Saiyans, he's still a pretty decent choice. Otherwise, future proofing, again, I think we're a ways away from this guy here, right? So the most likely candidates are probably the Goten, the Krillin, this guy, or Zangia, or even Raditz, because all of these guys, their main Dokkan Fest has already received an easy A, so they are some of the more likely candidates. If I had to put my finger on one, I would say probably the Goten is going to be one of the more likely one to get an easy A sooner, and that's just because there is a chance that there could be something Majin Buu Saga related coming up soon. So that's the only reason I would say that. Otherwise, moving on to the int types. Int types, once again, there isn't a whole lot of great choices, but I can think of a few that I've had some relative success with. Int Vados, really great, dodge or die, but crazy support for Universe 6, Realm of Gods, Siblings Bond, and Bond and Master Disciple. She really helps out the Tech Beerus, actually, right? So if you're running a Realm of Gods setup, you can throw her and Tech Beerus together, and they work really well. Her supporting them allows Tech Beerus to work a little bit better than where he's currently at. Otherwise, another character I've seen some relative success with, even in the newest content like Gogeta, is the Int Android 16. He's actually really, really good. So, I mean, he is also a decent pickup from this list in terms of the Int types. Otherwise, right, future-proofing, right, thinking of what lies ahead. The only unit on here that for the Int types that hasn't easy aid is the Garlic Jr. and the Shen. So possible future easy A's, again, Majin Buu Saga being possibly on the horizon. Shen would probably be your best. Supreme Kai here would probably be your best choice. Garlic Jr. might still be a ways away since AGL Gohan still has not received his EZA, whereas Tech Ultimate Gohan has already gotten his, so I think he could be a likely candidate. Moving on to the STR types. STR types, not really anyone that's good currently in content that is available right now. However, right, if you don't already have him and you're somebody who needs to grind out World Tournament, STR Piccolo is probably your best bet here. He's going to be very helpful for grinding out World Tournament due to his EZA being extremely powerful and having an AoE, which will help you just get through World Tournament just that much easier. Otherwise, future-proofing, the only, I would say probably Great Saiyaman, Int Frieza. STR Whis, I think, is probably the more likely candidate out of all of these. But Great Saiyaman I could also see happening, considering, again, Majin Buu Saga could be on the horizon. Moving on to the final ones, the Fizz types. Again, not any good ones, I think, here in terms of current content, but one that's very helpful is the Fizz launch. If you do not have Fizz launch, picking her up now is really good. If you're someone who is struggling with Battlefield, she is your trump card. She has lots of attacks, she attack lowers, and she's and a lot of other peppy gals around her can steal, which gives her the ability to do critical hits, and of course help you avoid super attacks. So she's just really, really helpful in those Battlefield moments. I use her all the time. Like, I almost always, like, when Broly was the main boss, it's a little bit harder now with Metal Cooler, but when Broly was the main boss, I almost always used Peppy Gals to take him down because, you know, you could stun lock him, or you could seal lock him and then attack lower him into oblivion, which you can still kind of do with Metal Cooler. It just, he hits a little bit harder for Peppy Gals, although now with Roshi's support and all this other stuff, it's actually a little bit easier. But I still think she's probably the best Fizz pickup. Otherwise, future proofing, right? Nova Shenron, Ten Shenhan, or Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta are probably very likely candidates to EZA soon. Nova Shenron, there is possibility of GT on the horizon, especially with the anniversary coming up, so he could get a sub EZA then. Ten Shenhan, like I said, with Majin Buu Saga possibly on the horizon, and his main unit already having received their EZA, there's a good chance that he could EZA as well. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, right, we do know that there is the possible crossover campaign, another possible crossover campaign coming, which means they could EZA him and the other Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas that have not EZA'd yet, so those are probably your best Fizz choices. So, I mean, realistically, you have 7 tickets to work with. I would prioritize whoever you don't have. That's, you know, number 1, right? Just start filling in the gaps for units you don't have. The best thing about these wish strips is, like, even if you do have the units, you can start filling in dupes, because once you start getting dupes, you can, as you work your way to Rainbow, that helps you for your summoning later, right? Because the more you the more dupes you have filled in, once you get to the Rainbow, as you summon units that you already have Rainbow, you can trade those in for coins, and that's especially important as we're moving into the anniversary with this new pity system. So it's very helpful. And even in just regular Dokkan Fest, the more units you have rainbowed, as if you choose to summon on a regular Dokkan Fest, the more likely you're going to get that unit. Hopefully you don't have to go to pity, but the more likely it is that that pity will be less costly, right? I have had situations like Ginyu where I was able to pity a unit with less than 300 stones spent, even though I didn't pull the unit from the banner, right? Like, it's sometimes it just works out like that. So it's definitely a good idea to just pick up whoever you don't have or whatever dupes you don't need. There's no need to not spend them, because once they're gone, they're gone, and there's no Elder Kais this time to just trade them in for. So just take whoever you don't have. If you really don't want to pick 7 characters, you got 7 tickets, invest all of them in one character that you don't have and rainbow him, right? There's tons of ways to go about this. Future-proof the units, grab who you don't have, or start filling in dupes. The choice is up to you. My recommendation is just for the best ones of each type if you're looking for that. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, hey, let us know who you picked up. Honestly, I'm probably just going to pick up super attack fodder for the ones that are getting their EZAs here soon. That's probably my goal, since I do have pretty much all of these guys except this guy rainbowed. In fact, I might just use all 7 to finish off this guy's super attack, so I don't have to waste any Elder Kais. That might be what I do, but let us know what you're gonna do in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.